Welcome to PNW TV News with me, Boitumelo Monare. In the headlines tonight, we hear from South Africans leading up to the State of the Nation address. And Health MEC Sello Lehare attends the opening of Phokeng Forensics Pathology mortuary. Also ahead this evening, the national minimum wage to increase from the 1st of March. In the sports, the Sharks wing Mapimpi receives a 3-match suspension. Good evening to our viewers as we come on the air tonight. Leading up to the State of the Nation address tomorrow, Parliament's presiding officers led by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Ms. Thoko Didiza, and the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Ms. Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsipane, held a media briefing on Parliament's state of readiness to host the 2025 State of the Nation address. Let's take a look.
We're pleased to address you, our esteemed members of the media and stakeholders present, on the state of readiness for the State of the Nation address, which is a crucial event on our national calendar as this Parliament, but also as a nation. This occasion is the result of months of meticulous preparation and coordination, which underscores its significance in shaping the national discourse and setting the tone for the year ahead. In accordance with Section 42, subsection 5 of the Constitution, the President of the Republic of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa, requested a joint sitting of the Houses of Parliament to actually address the House on the 6th of February 2025. There will just be one item on the agenda tomorrow, which is the President's State of the Nation address. SoNA allows the President as the head of state to speak to the nation and reflect on a wide range of matters of national importance, as well as outline the progress on the commitments made by the state. As such, SoNA signifies the highest level of the state's accountability to the citizenry by providing updates on the government programs, developments in legislation and policies, profiling targets, and a program of action for the new financial year. I think it's important for us to indicate the difference between the opening of parliamentary address, which took place last year, July 2024, as well as SoNA. OPA, as it is known, occurs once every 5 years after general elections to announce medium and long-term plans of government. While the State of the Nation address is an annual address that specifies short-term priorities and provide insights on the progress of the long-term targets. SoNA 2025 will be hosted under the theme I quote, Harnessing Parliamentary Diplomacy for Realization of Global Solidarity, Equality, and Sustainability, close quote. This theme aligns with Parliament's hosting of the Parliamentary Speakers Summit from the group of 20 countries commonly known as the G20, which will take place this year. So the P20 will be hosted by the South African Parliament, which includes member parliaments of the G20, but also other multilateral organizations such as the Inter-Parliamentary Union, SADC Parliamentary Forum, as well as the Pan-African Parliaments and other bilateral countries with whom Parliament works. This summit, in our view, will provide an opportunity to deepen the call for solidarity among parliamentarians globally, but also to ensure that we address issues of equality and sustainability in our world.
Our team also met with some South Africans to get a feel of what they think of the President's address might focus on tomorrow.
Tebello ya ka ho mo president ho SoNA ya 2025 e kare a ka addressa issue ena ya bodu bo tletseng masipaleng tsa rona mona ditjhelete tse nyamelang mesebetsi le yona ha eyo a address batjha because batjha ba hloka mosebetsi if ba sa sebetsi botsotsi bo eketseya and re bona batho ba nka po batho ba bolayana because mosebetsi o le siyo.
I greet you all nationally without further ado. I will go straight to the point. unemployment rate is killing us here in South Africa. Many youth isn't working, like they end up smoking drugs. We need some job creation. The president gotta make a plan for us youth, because we end up doing things we shouldn't do. You feel me? Some of our youth are smoking drugs out there, affiliated with felonies. Please help us though, before the drugs end us, because it's gonna be the death of us. If you don't create job, where you gonna get money? Because you got nothing to do for a living. We don't have money to go to school. We need job to go to school so that we can afford to go to school. Feel me? Thank you very much.
Nani ke fula gore mo presse ka usane ha bua go gontsi mo South Africa, and mo go leng go ntsi teng dilo di ntsi tla di oketsega wa bona. And then now recent ke this thing ena ya ku DRC, this thing ya ku DRC e re distepile thata fela, because re lwana dintwa tse di sa re lebagana. And to start with, mo country many people rasafara wa bona, and then the way re safarang ka teng ha gona remedy for that. The next thing ya re shebile di politiki, and rona as individuals ko tlase kwale o itse keng man, ha re khathalelwe bona gona no masola rona ke ba baile wa bona. Okay, for country nge feng wa bona, mare nevertheless ba ne ile go emela se ba se emela mo di bordereng tsa rona wa bona. Well, di border tlamile di checkiwe wa bona, mare e tlhagetseng for South Africa now is a big disaster. Yeah, and then bana ba rona ke bale ba tswa go tlhokafala ra wa bona. Okay, bana imetse country ya rona mo ntweng e seng ya rona to start with. So now ne kopa president I address.
Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa's 2025 SoNA will air on the 6th of February at 7 p.m. More news tonight. The implementation of mother tongue-based bilingual education pilot program for grade 4s across the Northwest province has been marred with challenges. Northwest Department of Education spokesperson Boitumelo says the department, through its transformation program branch, has put together a program to transform the landscape of education from general education and training to further education and training bands. Molokwane says the department is implementing mother tongue-based bilingual education in at least 650 schools. There is a plan to train teachers on teaching the selected subjects in African languages. Now to Rustenburg, where MEC Sello Lehare attended the opening of Phokeng Forensics Pathology mortuary. The MEC gave a keynote address as well as an update on the completion of post-mortem of the bodies from the Stilfontein mine. Let's take a look.
Special project of Vala Umgoti that made headlines recently. The forensic pathologists from the department worked diligently during the process of identification and verification of the bodies that were retrieved from the disused Stilfontein mine shaft. As on Monday, 13 January 2025, the department admitted 39 illegal miners, discharged 21 and later declared 2 dead. The department had dedicated medical professionals working around the clock to ensure that the due diligence is done in the provision of healthcare during this period. In the week of 13 to 15 January 2015, the Northwest Forensic Pathology Officers team led by Dr. Murad and later joined by the Gauteng team of 14 forensic pathology officers with 3 mini disaster trucks and 1 big truck formed part of a team that extracted the bodies of illegal miners. In that week, 78 bodies were retrieved and stored as follows. In Klerksdorp, 21 bodies. In Potchefstroom, 16 bodies. In Brest, 42 bodies. Following the retrieval and storage of these bodies, more work was done in this manner. All bodies were scanned between the 17th and 19th of January 2025. Between 22 and 24 January 2025, postmortems were conducted on 36 of the bodies. The remaining 42 bodies were done between 27 and 29 January 2025. Unidentified bodies will receive a pauper's funeral as soon as all relevant parties have deliberated and concluded on the matter. All bodies that are identified are released to members of their families. The special project of Vala Umgodi ended. I know we want to take this opportunity to thank all men and women that dedicate their time, effort, and skills into this. Your work does not go unnoticed.
We go now to Mpumalanga, where civilians have expressed concerns about the government's ongoing efforts to recover the remains of 3 mine victims nearly 9 years after the mine collapsed. Pritin Kabule, Yvonne Mnisi, and Solomon Nyirenda were in a container designated as a lamp room when the mine incident occurred. Now, earlier today, their families held a memorial to honor the tragic event. Family spokesperson Harry Mazibuko has expressed doubt regarding any advancements that may arise from the upcoming State of the Nation address. He indicated that even if the issue is addressed, what is truly needed is meaningful action. A brief mention of the matter, in his view, is unlikely to lead to any substantial progress or follow-through. Now, those were the leading stories. Let's now get the international headline. The Council on American-Islamic Relations has condemned U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to cut funding to South Africa. The Council believes this move favors white supremacists and is a retaliation for South Africa's pursuit of genocide charges against Israel at the International Court of Justice. Now, CAIR Executive Director Nihad Awad criticized Trump's actions, stating that if the president wants to cut funding to a racist foreign government, he should start with Israel. The controversy surrounds Trump's comments on South Africa's new Land Expropriation Act. Now, just last year, CAIR welcomed South Africa's submission to the ICJ, outlining evidence of Israel's alleged genocide in Gaza. Now, with that, let's get the latest in business news. The national minimum wage is set to increase by R1.21 per hour from the 1st of March. Minister of Employment and Labour Nomakosazana Meth gazetted the increase on Tuesday. The minimum wage shifts from R27.58 to R28.79 per hour, equating to approximately 4.4% increase. The new minimum wage set a new baseline across all sectors, including farm workers and domestic workers. Now, in a statement, Agri South Africa says it recognizes the National Minimum Wage Commission took a balanced approach to safeguard workers and consider the sustainability of the sector. More business news. Data from the Central Energy Fund points to a petrol price increase between 75 cents and 81 cents per litre. This is while diesel prices jumped by around 89 cents per litre. Economists have warned motorists to brace for a hike of between 80 cents to R1 a litre, while another increase could be on the cards for March. Well, those were your business news. Stay with us as we wrap up with the sports headlines. In a thrilling matchup at FNB Stadium, Kaizer Chiefs and AmaZulu competed to a 2-2 draw in the Betway Premiership. The recent draw has resulted in Amakhosi maintaining their position in 5th place in the league standings, marking 2 consecutive matches without a victory. Chiefs ended the match with 54% possession and registered 20 goal attempts, in contrast to AmaZulu's 12 attempts. Following this result, Kaizer Chiefs remain in 5th place in the league standings, accumulating 22 points from 16 matches. Meanwhile, AmaZulu occupies 7th place with 20 points, also accrued from 16 games. The draw enables both teams to maintain the pursuit of higher league positions, underscoring the competitive nature of this season's Betway Premiership. Gripping rugby action as Sharks wing Mapimpi has not escaped sanction for his involvement in an off-the-ball incident against Cardiff in a recent United Rugby Championship match in Wales. The Springbok speedster got into a scuffle with Cardiff hooker Ethan Daniel in the 52nd minute at Cardiff Arms Park on the 25th of January. The 34-year-old who scored a try in the first half had his jersey pulled over his head by Daniel and then pushed his hand into the Cardiff replacement's face. Now, social media was filled with allegations of eye-gouging against Mapimpi, but there was no action until Tuesday when the URC announced that the Sharks' number 11 had received a 3-match suspension. Now, this means that Mapimpi will miss the Sharks' next 3 matches against the Bulls at Loftus Versfeld on February 15th, the Lions at Ellis Park on March 1st, and the Lions at Kings Park on March 8th. Well, that's it for this Wednesday night's PNW TV broadcast. My colleague Kyutsepile will be back tomorrow with the latest. Until then, good night.